Praise you, Lord Christ. Today is the second of our interim event Sunday. Remember that means I changed the prayers and the readings to suit the topic of today. And that topic is mission. So let's turn to our bulletins for a close look at what our biblical and theological perspectives bring to bear on just what is this mission. Who are we, St. Stephen's Church? Not as a generic Episcopal Church or even as a generic Black Episcopal Church, but as this very specific group of individuals, which is different from any other church. What our mission is can only grow out of who we actually are. From things like our mix of commitments in terms of attendance, volunteering, and pledging, from our spiritual gifts of energy and creativity and know-how that we are willing to share with the church, and from how well we do all of this work together. So our particular mission is going to be different from any other churches. The nearby Episcopal churches of St. Paul's, St. John's, and Christ and Grace, they all have their own differing sense of mission. How are we different from them? Our college today talks about doing the work that God gives us to do for the common good. Common good. It's not our work, it's God's work. And the common good is not for us as a church, but for the parts of God's world, whether they be nearby or whether they be far away, where we can have some influence. Some people think that that word vocation that's used in the title of this prayer only applies to the work of ordained people. But no, everyone has some kind of vocation, some kind of calling to do some part of God's work. It may be something that you do within your job and employment. It may be something you do as an avocation in your free time. Think for a minute. Are you aware of your vocation? Are you aware of what God is calling you to do? Isaiah says that we are given work to do to carry out God's purposes. And again, that's not our own purposes. We have to discern God's ways for this community. God has brought us, this group of people, together in this place at this time for a particular reason. And our job is to discern prayerfully and carefully. How is it exactly that we are to spend our time and our money and our energy on that which most satisfies not us, that which most satisfies God? The Psalm reminds us that all that we do is in response to the much greater love and work that God has already done for us. Everything we do is done in God's sight. And everything that we do stands as a witness to God, to the people around us, who watch what it is we do or what it is we say to do. Ephesians reiterates this same thing, that individually and collectively we have a calling. That's vocation again. A calling to which we have been called by God. That calling is to do some kind of ministry. Each and every one of us has been given gifts to do just that, to do some kind of ministry. And we have to figure out how to exercise our individual gifts in coordination with each other, the way that the parts of a body have to work well together. Matthew, at the end of his gospel, presents Jesus giving us the great commission, the overall mission for all Christians, in the context within which we have to locate our own particular mission. The call there is to go out into the world and make a difference there by helping other people become disciples of Jesus. In order to make disciples, we have to be committed disciples ourselves. Finally, look at that image that's on the cover of your bulletin. There you see a compass. What we're going to talk about in our events this afternoon, this morning, the mission, the vision, the values, the strategies, all of those are the map and the compass that help us decide where it is that we need to go and how are we going to get there. We can't go everywhere. We can't do everything. We have to choose a particular course and a particular direction. And that means that we have to make certain that certain things have higher priority than others. What is most important for us now is to know that we are being called by God as individuals and as a church. To recognize that we are being sent out on a mission to do God's work. This is not necessarily the mindset that all churches have. To some people, church is the place you go, rather than church being who you are. We are the church. To some people, the work of the church is done largely by professionals like clergy and paid staff, and by some small group of highly committed volunteers. But it actually has to be done by everybody within the church. Church's mission, our church's mission, can only be the sum total of how we together respond to that call to mission as experienced and expressed by every one of us in this church. So now, with these biblical and theological perspectives in mind, we'll continue with our mission event activity following worship today and our time